Hey guys, welcome to That Astro Chick, where we talk about everything spirituality, the law of attraction, and what's really going on in our world today. This is episode 8. I'm your host, Rachel Riley. I'm so happy to be back. I know I had to take a break for a minute there, and please excuse me if I keep looking down here because the webcam is up here and I'm really not used to it, so I'm gonna try my hardest to look at it, but I can't really see myself and I look like that. So if I'm looking here, it's because the computer's here, but the webcam is in fact there. But in this episode, I want to talk about Scorpio Risings going through a tower moment, going through a transition, because that's what's going on right now in my life. And these are some tips and tricks that I've went through, but really I want to talk about the emotional moment in it, talk about what I went through, because I'm going through another tower moment because I am a Scorpio rising, and not only am I a Scorpio rising, I also have Pluto in my first house. So this can lead to a lot of tower moments constantly. I explained this to one of my friends and I said the difference between Scorpio rising and Scorpio suns is Scorpio rising will go through transitions and tower moments constantly. They don't really get a break. Like, for example, Scorpio rising, say in the beginning of the month, they have a tower moment. And I'm talking intense, I'm talking Pluto, I'm talking like everything happened very intensely, and I'm looking for another word other than intense. Everything happened very abruptly and unexpected and just like a lightning bolt, and like bam, it was just in your face. It was just like whoo, tower moment, the tower in the tarot. And Scorpio rising, they'll go through that in the beginning of the month, and the universe will give them a break. Like, okay, you had your tower moment, here's a few weeks to get into it, and then bam, the next month, another tower moment. So for Scorpio risings, it can be difficult, but the difference between Scorpio rising and Scorpio sun is Scorpio sun has that intensity. They do have tower moments, but theirs are more spaced out, if you know what I'm saying. So what's going on right now in my life, I just recently moved. This is the new setup, the new computer and whatnot. But when I moved, it was a tower moment because I am a Scorpio rising, but I have a Virgo moon. So I like to plan everything out. I like to organize. I like to be prepared and whatnot. And during this time, it did not go how I wanted. I ended up actually getting kicked out of my house. Last minute. It was only a few days before I moved out, but during this time, I did not have my items organized how I wanted. I had only packed, half the house. I had my daughter during that day, and my roommate was very abrasive. He ended up he had a fit of rage. I wouldn't say, yeah, that's what it was, and he threw all my things on the street. Basically, he grabbed all my items and threw them out, and it was a tower moment, and it was very traumatic for me because my safety felt compromised. My fight or flight instinct kicked in. I felt unsafe, and I also felt betrayal. I felt this betrayal because even though it sucked that I was getting kicked out, even though it was disrespectful and I felt very disrespected and very, angry in the moment, I felt betrayed because the person I lived with was actually my friend, and we've been friends for quite some time, about a year and a half, and we both shared, we both shared a lot of moments together. I am an Aquarius, so I love having moments. Friends, I make my friends my family because I've had, a lot of moving going on with my family. I haven't been very close with them because of my 4th house, in Aquarius. But when someone is my friend, I make my friend my family. When I accept you as a friend, when I warm up to you and I share this trauma and these bonds and this connection with you, and you're my ride or die. You're my family now. So when I lose a friend, it is intense because one, I took a long time to open up towards that friend. 2, I took a long time to trust that friend. 3, I create very intense memories with friends. I share everything. I give my heart, my soul, my mind, my body to my friends, and when that betrayal happened, not only was it very abrasive, tower moment, traumatic, and lots of emotions going on, an explosion, unexpected, like Uranus energy, I lost a friend, and that hurt me and that betrayed me, and I felt very, very betrayed in the moment and very upset. But I covered it all up with anger. As a Scorpio rising, we tend to try to run away from our emotions because we feel like we'll get lost in them, like it's an ocean, and we'll just kind of drift to the bottom, and we don't know when we'll come back to the top, and it's scary, guys. So as a Scorpio rising, when you're going through this tower moment, the best thing I can say is really feel your emotions. Allow yourself to feel your emotions, but a little bit at a time. Don't confront it head on. I do talk about this in other videos, confronting it head on, but if it's very sensitive, like if this just happened, say you had a tower moment just on like Monday, and your boyfriend cheated on you, your girlfriend cheated on you, your friend betrayed you, your parents did something to you, or your coworker, whoever it was, but it happened and you felt betrayal, you felt a tower moment, it was abrupt, it was intense, and you only made it through it because you're strong as Scorpio. Feel it a little bit at a time, because if it's very intense and sensitive and it has to do with also relocation or, something to do with your safety, which is, your material world, I would say feel the moments a little bit at a time. Feel the grief over it on one day, and then feel, the anger over it the other day. Maybe like write a song about it, channel it into something healthy, but also don't get mad at yourself if you're feeling, angry, if you're feeling upset, and don't label these emotions. Oh, that's so dumb that I felt that way. How could I feel that way, when that person treated me that way? It's okay, because you still invested your heart in them, Scorpio. You invested your mind in them. You invested your friendship. So it's normal to feel some sadness after you lose a person, even though people are for a season and people come and go. And you probably experience this as a Scorpio rising, having these really intense connections, and then the person just, whoop, they're gone. Like friendship, relationship, sibling, whatever, just like whoop, whoop, whoop. And you gotta like just kind of flow with it. But what has helped me through this tower moment is, kind of letting my emotions trickle out and feeling through them slowly and allowing that. And I also feel, as a Scorpio rising, I dislike it when I'm being controlled. And I was, pushed in a situation where it wasn't my new house. So if you're going from, a new house where you have what have you, like your space and your area or whatnot, and then you move into a temporary house, it can be a lot to do as a Scorpio rising. So I would necessarily say to spend a lot of time with meditation, to focus on what does make you happy, to feel all your emotions and channel them into art, into your YouTube channel. This will really help you get through that as a Scorpio rising, because even though we have these emotions, we also are very creative, because you are a water sign, and water is all about creating. You have that natural intuition, you have that natural creativity to you. And when you are feeling all these things, instead of, allowing them in your body and pushing them down or having outbursts, to channel them into music, into writing. And nobody has to see this, you don't have to make it perfect. It doesn't have to be, I have to make an amazing song about this transition I'm going through. No, just make a song in the moment and feel it. And also reach out more to people, because I know as Scorpio risings, we tend to self-isolate sometimes when things are going really intensely with our life. And we don't like to let people know information. We're very secretive, because as a Scorpio rising, we know that information can be used as blackmail. People can tend to talk over it. So if we're going through a tower moment and we're like, I don't know what the heck's going on, like my whole life has changed, I don't know, where I'm going, I don't know where I'm living, I don't know where I'm working, I don't know what's going on with my career right now, we kind of like go back into our shell, go back into like the Scorpio, like hiding under the rock, thing. And when we're feeling these emotions, we isolate ourselves, because we don't want others to know that we don't know what's going on, that we are not strong, or we don't have a sense of direction, because Scorpio is power, it is strength, it is undeniable mental and physical strength. So when we're going through a transition, we're like, I don't feel very strong right now. I don't really have a direction with my life. I don't know what's going on for the moment. So because of that, you don't want to hang out with friends, because they might start asking questions, and then they might ask you to open up, and you don't want to do that. So you will isolate yourself. But that's exactly what you don't need to do during a tower moment, during a transition. when you're in a tower moment, you should cling to your not really cling to your friends, but just talk to your friends that you trust, that you care about, that you've been friends with a long time, and they are trustworthy, and let them know, hey, I'm going through a tough time right now. Can we just hang out today? Can we just go have fun? Can we just go to the park? Can we just go shopping? Can we go like hang out at your house and have fun and be playful? Because this will help you, let go of everything you're going through, help you escape from your mind, but also have that connection. Because as humans, as much as we like to be alone, we do need other humans to thrive, to socialize, and to combat anxiety and emotion. So if you're going through a tower moment, I would recommend hanging out with your friends. Don't force yourself to hang out with someone. If you're not feeling it, don't do it. But don't isolate yourself as a sense of like, I've got to protect myself, I've got to stay strong, I can't let them know that I'm going through something and I don't know what's going on with my life right now. Like, your friends love you and they care for you. They're your friends for a reason, Scorpio Rising, and I know you took a long time to find those friends and to pick them and to allow them in your life. So I trust your judgment and trust your own judgment, So during a transition, during a tower moment, it's important to feel your emotions, but be very sensitive with it. Don't confront it head on if it's really intense and it's really sensitive, because the saying, time heals all, it does have some truth to it. Because, something that may have upset you in the moment, a week from now, it still upsets you, but you had some time to, get out of that situation. You had some time to like organize yourself, to get in your routine, and maybe like hang out with other people to adjust your focus. Because if you're focused on something and you're like, oh, I'm so mad at it, and then like it's a week later and you've been focused on your career, on like relationships or a new creative endeavor, then you're not going to be so like on it, and you can go back into it and feel the emotions. So the Scorpio Rising, I also feel like during times of transition, during times of tower moments, we feel like others are trying to control us. And I noticed this especially for Scorpios with Pluto in the first house, because they say with the Scorpio Rising, right? If you're Scorpio Rising, you have Pluto in one of your houses. And wherever Pluto is in your chart, that is where people are intimidated by you. So if you have Pluto perhaps in your 10th house, your 10th house rules your career. So if you are in your career, you might have other people feel intimidated by your career choices, by choices where they're like, oh, I don't know, like if that's correct, or whatever you're posting in the world, it might have more backlash. But if you have Pluto in your first house, so Pluto, we all know Pluto, Scorpio Risings, in your first house. Your first house rules your identity, your physical appearance, who you are in the world, and how you see the world. So with all these things in our first house, if you have Pluto there, people are going to be intimidated by you for just being you. They don't need a reason for it. And they will just be constantly intimidated by you being yourself, by you dressing how you want to dress, by you wearing your makeup how you want to wear, by you going after the career that you want, by you putting out the content that you want. And then also your physical appearance can come off as very intense. And, if you have this in your first house as a Scorpio Rising, you can't change that. You literally cannot change your appearance. You can transform your appearance. Like, I love transformation. You can make yourself look more feminine. You can make yourself look more masculine. You can do drag. You can do no makeup at all. You can curl your hair, straighten your hair, dye your hair, cut your hair. But ultimately, at the end of the day, your appearance is still your appearance unless you get plastic surgery. And you don't even need to do that. You're Scorpio Rising. You're very, very attractive. So with this, though, you've got to understand that if you have Pluto in your first house and you are Scorpio Rising, you will be judged and others will be intimidated by you because of your physical appearance and because of your identity when it is in the first house. And I don't think that you should necessarily change that. You should just be aware of it and then kind of like let others do them and focus on yourself. Because whenever you own your power and you say, you know what, I am a powerful individual, I am capable, I am, very attractive and very, intelligent, and I have all these wonderful gifts, and I'm very intuitive, and I want to, read people's tarot cards, or I want to create more content, or I want to be a performer, step into that, step into that sense, step into that power and just do you. And when you do that, because I saw this saying that said, whenever you don't step into your own power, you are robbing the world of the gifts that you have to offer. The more you deny yourself, the more you say, oh, I'm not the one, I'm not skilled enough, or I don't know if I can do that necessarily, or who am I to be doing all this? You're robbing the world of the gifts you have. Because think about it, if say Justin Bieber for an example, he's also a Scorpio rising and with Pluto in the first house. Justin Bieber, if he was singing when he was a kid and maybe someone judged him on that, they're like, that doesn't sound good, or, well, who are you to be singing like that? Then he could have listened to that person and not pursued it and went to a regular 9-to-5 job and did what everyone else was doing, and his life would be completely different. But instead, his mom saw that in him and took him to singing classes, and he practiced every day, and then he made it his talent, and he went on all those shows, and then he took a break from all those tours, and he found his girlfriend, and he really found himself first off before he found Haley, and self-discovered and took control of his health, of his anxiety, and then learned to create what was from his heart and whatnot. But he never would have been there if he had listened to other people, if he had not stepped into his power. And he's actually, he's a millionaire. Like, he's doing good. He's got all these houses. He has fame. Money is never an issue for him because he owned his power, because he did what other people weren't doing, and he stepped into it and he pursued it, even though other people may say, oh, this will fail, this is not how the world is. He did. So when you're doing this as a Scorpio rising, when you're owning your power and you're stepping into your gifts and you're nurturing your gifts and you're presenting that to the world, then the world can experience that, and you can make one person feel better. You can create art, you can create songs, you can speak your piece and speak in your power, and you don't ever know, what you say can change an entire person's life, because there are a lot of people I followed on YouTube that have changed their my entire life. When I was going through a rough patch at my old house, I was depressed, I was anxious, but I would watch these pick a card tarot readings. And I think this is important if you're Scorpio rising going through a tower moment. You should look up pick a card tarot reading on YouTube and see what blessing is coming my way tarot reading. What lucky thing is going to happen tarot reading? What is my good karma? Unexpected surprises. And this will really raise your energy. And you never know. In this tarot reading, it could say, oh, your career is about to pop off. Oh, you're about to get into a new house. Oh, you're about to get some unexpected money. Oh, you're about to get a new gift. Oh, you're about to create something and receive the recognition that you deserve, that you want. And when you're going through a tower moment where you can't see in your physical world what is happening around you, and maybe the physical world isn't matching up with what's going on in your head and what you know to be true with your dream life, with your dream passion, and you're like, oh, this is so disappointing, I don't get it, I don't understand, why is this happening? Well, look up a tarot reading where it says what you don't see coming, what unexpected blessings are coming your way, what luck is coming your way, and you receive a new piece of information, and that will really uplift your spirits, as well as talking to your spirit guides, your spirit animals, and your angels, and asking them, hey, I'm feeling really discouraged, I don't know what's going on, can you guys help me out? Can you send me a sign? Can you send me a physical representation of how my dream life is going? And they will, because your spirit guides and your animals and your guardian angels and your spirit team, I like to call them the A-team, they have your back and they want you to succeed, and they're always in your corner, and they will send you these physical signs of your manifestation coming true. So as a Scorpio rising, when you're going through these tower moments, it's important to confront your emotions, but in a little bit at a time, let it trickle out. Time does heal a lot of things if you're not so focused on one thing. That's our dog Daisy. If you're not so focused on one thing and you allow time, you can come back to it. Also, having these tarot readings and really owning your power and realizing, okay, well, I have Scorpio in my chart in the 10th house, so I'm going to be judged. People are going to be intimidated by my career, but I'm still going to do it. I'm just going to be aware and go for it. I'm not going to take it personal. If you have Scorpio in your first house and, Pluto in your first house as a Scorpio rising, you're going to say, okay, people are intimidated by me being me, by my identity, by my appearance, but I'm going to I'm going to do what I want anyway. I'm going to like dress up how I want to dress. I'm going to do my makeup how I want to dress, and I'm going to find who I am and allow other people to just feel what they want to feel, because it's important for me to offer my gifts to the world because I want to change the world. And as a Scorpio rising, you can change the world by being you. Communication is one of your most important gifts as a Scorpio rising. So I really recommend speaking your truth more, having more speeches, having podcasts, YouTube channels, or really, just speaking your truth when you're out with your friends, saying what you're thinking and not caring if people judge you, because people are going to give you a love-hate reaction anyway. So live your life. Because the most important videos I've found are when people are authentic, when they're speaking their truth and they don't care what anyone says, and they're like, this is what I know and this is what I believe. And I'm like, dang, they're really out here doing that. Okay, I'm gonna listen to them. I'm gonna listen. So that's another thing you can do when you're going through a tower transition moment as a Scorpio rising. So with the emotions, with the tarot reading, speaking your truth, standing in your power so you can offer your gifts to the world. During these times of transition, I have found self-sabotage. Self-sabotage, I thought I originally finished. I thought I originally killed self-sabotage. I was like, oh no, that won't ever happen to me again. I'm very good with my routine. I'm very spiritual. I meditate all the time. I have a good support group. But when you're going through a tower moment, all that just goes to shit. It goes to shit because with the tower moment, usually everything around you is chaos, and perhaps you move to a new house and you don't have your routine anymore. Your routine is adjusting, and it's going to take a few days to adjust back to how it went. And maybe you don't have enough room to like organize your stuff, and maybe you're skipping out on the meditation because you're so busy overthinking, and you will fall back into self-sabotage, which I found myself, engaging more in negative energies, actually caring what people thought about me, and like second guessing myself, which I haven't done in a really long time, and even thinking about maybe I should go out and drink, which I haven't done, in forever, other than the music video I was in. So, when you're going through a tower moment, it's easy to want to fall back in self-sabotage. And if you do, don't beat yourself up. Don't be so critical. Know that that is normal. It's okay. Don't be stressed out. Everyone goes through that. When you have a big life change, when you have a tower moment, your body wants to escape. You want to feel relief. So if you find yourself self-sabotaging, I almost cut off all my friends, guys. I was that stressed out when I went through this transition, when I was thrown into another house, when I didn't have a room, when I couldn't organize my stuff, when I had my baby, and I was like, so many things all at once. I don't even have a routine anymore. Where can I go meditate? There's a dog barking. I can't meditate. My headphones got eaten by my cat. I thought, the thought occurred to me, what if I just cut off all my friends? My friends aren't even my friends in the beginning. They're not replying to me. They don't even love me. They don't care about me. They're fake, because it was one thing I had control of. So when you're going through a tower moment, you can feel like you don't have enough control. You can feel like, I don't have control of what's going on around me, the chaos, the physical reality. So what can I control? Okay, so you're either going to want to change up your appearance really spur in the moment and not in a good way, or you're going to want to, in your physical body, you're going to want to hang out with people and do things you wouldn't usually do because you can control your physical body. Or, with, your phone, you're I'm going to watch things that don't even make me happy and are negative and listen to negative music, but I can control this, so it feels good to feel bad, yeah. Or I'm going to cut off all my friends because I can control that, and I can reject them before they reject me, and I can, control this. I can protect myself, because self-sabotage is just protection. When you self-sabotage, you're attempting to protect yourself by doing sporadic things. So it is easy to fall into this when you're going through a tower moment, but don't let it, if you do go through it, I would not recommend cutting off all your friends. Talk to your friends and let them know, hey, I'm feeling really overwhelmed right now. I'm trying to control this space and I don't want to do that, but I feel like I want to. And you'd be surprised. I had someone tell me, oh, you don't actually want to do that. Don't do that. That's not fair to your friends. And you're just really stressed and you feel like you can't control what's going on around you, but you really can. Go internal. take care of yourself, spend more time meditating, ignore everybody, and allow some time. And when I did, I got my routine back to normal. I got back to meditating. I got back to yoga. I got back to, journaling and spending more time alone and hanging out with friends, hanging out with my sisters. And then I was like, wow, I didn't even want to do that. Why did I think that? Oh, I was just really under intense stress and I wanted to self-sabotage, press the button. So if you're feeling like that, just know it's normal. But, don't self-isolate yourself, ask for help, it's okay. Or if you don't feel like talking to people, talk to your spirit guides, your angels, take some time to journal. But as a Scorpio rising, during these times, I think the one thing that has bothered me the most is people attempting to control me. It really bothers me because I went through that a lot growing up. And when it happens again as an adult, I'm immediately like, bam, my Leo Mars kicks in. I'm like, what the heck? Who do you think you are? I'm an adult. What's going on here? Like, you could never. And why are you trying? Because I feel that, like, a Scorpio rising could walk in a room and there could be a sign that says, like, don't wear hats. 5 other people walk in and they're wearing hats. Nobody says a damn word. A Scorpio rising walks in and they're like, no, take that hat off right now. Blah, blah, blah. And, like, the thing of that is, like, I feel like it's unfair and they are singled out sometimes. And, like, I'm not going to pity myself or victimize myself, but I do notice that Scorpio rising, because of your powerful aura, because of your powerful appearance, people know your power and they're intimidated by it. So they will attempt to control, you. And that's a lot as a Scorpio rising, because we know our own power and we know our own values. So we're like, why can't you just leave me alone? Like, let me do my thing. But as a Scorpio rising, just be aware it's because you're powerful. It's because they're intimidated. People say things behind your back because they're afraid to say it in your face. And that's powerful. Because as Scorpio rising, you're very blunt. You tell people how it is to their face. You say what you see. You say what you feel. You're good at feeling the energy in the room. You are good at saying how they are and saying, oh, this isn't right, you need to fix this, or this is correct, this is the way to go, this is evidence of it. And a lot of people can't do that. So know that you are valuable. Know that you hold that energy and that power within you as a Scorpio rising. And other people trying to control you just shows that they're insecure and that they don't have much control of their life. Just let it be. Take the higher road. Know that, you will never be in a moment forever. Nothing is forever. And the more you do self-work and the more you dive into spirituality, it won't bother you as much. Like, yeah, it still bothers me when people attempt to control me or say really rude things or come for me. And I'm like, well, why? Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm a really nice person. I may be blunt, I may be authentic, but I am nice and I do have that care and I do, want to raise the vibration of the earth. But kind of take a step back and be like, okay, I'm going to choose not to react emotionally. I'm going to choose to stay calm. I'm going to choose to, see that person as them hurting. And if I feel myself starting to, like, react in anger and be like, stop trying to control me, I'm just going to walk away. I'm just going to walk away and let it go. And I'm going to agree with them and just be like, yeah, you're right. Like my friend Anthony, he was saying, like, if you're in somewhere and they're like, make me a sandwich, and you're mad over it because they're like, someone you're living with, he's like, just make them the sandwich and move on with your life, because it's not worth the debate and it's not worth the arguing and it's not worth the emotions. And, as a Scorpio rising, you want to avoid that anyway. So you're just make them the sandwich and go along with your day. Because at the end of the day, no one could ever control you, even if they tried. I don't care if you're in a relationship, if you're with family, if you're with friends, if even an authority figure, they can never control you, ever. Your freedom is in your mind, and you always hold this power within you. And, these people are just for a season. So you live your life and you're going to go after your passion and show others how it's done. Show others, use this as an opportunity to show others how to respond with emotional intelligence, how to respond from a spiritual place, how to not engage with lower energies. Yeah. I went off on a tangent there, but it's really important to me. And I feel like this is extremely relevant because you go through this a lot, Scorpio rising. Tower moments. The best thing you can do is feel it out a little time, get your routine back to normal, start watching spiritual things that make you happy. Aaron Doughty is a wonderful, wonderful channel for that. Ambassador Zara, a wonderful channel for that. Motivational entrepreneur videos in the morning, listen to those, listen to jazz music to calm yourself down, and do your makeup how you want to do it, dress how you want to do it, really feel yourself and surround yourself with a support group to get you through this difficult time. And know that you will become stronger after every tower moment. I know you don't want to hear that. I know that's boring and you're like, just can I get a break for a second? Can I get a break? Because I've been through like 10 tower moments in the span of a year and I'm getting tired. Know that these tower moments are pushing you towards your purpose. They're pushing you towards your higher version of yourself. They're pushing you more into that energy. They are pushing you into the best version of you, the version of you that's really going to change the world, the version of you that's going to be an entertainer or a content creator, an actor, an actress, a model, a writer, a business owner. These tower moments are shaping you and molding you into the most powerful version of you, and it's painful and we don't like it and it's stressful. So, take rest, take breaks, go back to spirituality, hang out with your friends. But do know every time I've had a tower moment, I've emerged stronger. When I never thought I could, when I thought, oh, I've already had my glow up, I've already become very strong, I'm very content. The universe is like, all right, let me test you. Let me put you in a position where you don't have like any of your items, where you don't know what's going on, where you're around people that you don't necessarily want to be around. And I'm going to push you to become an even stronger version of yourself, to show others. And also, it's valuable when you're in these tower moments, use that information. If you've lived through a toxic, household or a toxic situation with a roommate, talk about it. Show people that they're not alone in there. Give them tips and tricks. Tell them that they're not alone, because as humans, we just want to know we're not alone and that we're not struggling out here. And because everyone puts on this facade on Instagram, on Facebook, that their life is perfect when it's in fact not. They're just showing the good points. So show the low points. Be different. Tell them like, okay, I went through this and this is how I made it. And your story is valuable. People will listen to you, Scorpio Rising. So put it out there. Even if you don't want to open up, even if you're secretive, you're like, oh, I don't know about talking about that. The one thing that scares you the most that you want to talk about is probably the most important and the one that will change someone's life, because you don't know. Someone watching your videos, somebody watching your podcast, somebody watching your art or your music could be going through a similar situation. They could be stuck in a household where they don't want to be, or with a roommate who's being toxic and who's being a narcissist towards them. And in that moment, when they find your video, they're going to know, wow, I'm not alone. Someone else is going through this. Here are some tips and tricks to get out. And that will change someone's life, because it changed my life when I found spirituality, when I found tarot cards, and I knew that I was not alone, and I knew that I was heard, and that there was hope for me. When I can see hope at the end of the tunnel, I can get through anything. If there's no hope, I spiral into depression. But if I see the hope through a tarot reading, through friendship, through synchronicity, through the universe, through my guides, I'm like, all right, I got this. Everything around me is temporary, but I see the hope at the end of the tunnel, and I know that I'm the one, and I know that, I will impact the world, and I'm gonna die trying, because I'm that tied to my faith, tied to my belief system, tied to my spirituality, tied to changing the world. So know that every time you go through a tower, it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be stressful, but it's going to make you stronger. It's going to push you towards your purpose, and you're going to be happy. Because when I went through my tower moments, I didn't like them, but I had a glow up every time. I became more attractive on the inside as well as the outside. I learned how to value myself, how to love myself, how to up my self-worth, how to explore my own sexuality, how to realize I love visual arts, and I love collaborating with people, and I love YouTube, and I love talking, and all these wonderful things you never would have discovered had you not been pushed to a tower moment. Because when you're pushed to a tower moment, it strips you of everything that you've known. It pushes you back to square one. It's kind of like emerging as a new baby. You're discovering the world for the first time, and you're like, okay, well, what do I like? What don't I like? Do I like reading? Do I like writing? Do I like creating? How about if I did it this way? Who am I? Why am I here? You ask yourself these questions and you discover new things. And through self-discovery is self-confidence. And then anything anyone says to you does not matter anymore. It doesn't. Because when you know yourself, no one can tell you what you are. When you know who you are, and you're like, I know who the fuck I am, no one can tell you what you are. They can't say, oh, you're mean, or you're uppity, or you're bossy, or you're not all that. You can say, well, I know who I am, and I know my heart, and I know my belief system and I know what I have to offer to the world, so they can't tell me anything. They can, but I won't listen. But yeah, those are some tips, I've learned through my tower moment. If you like this type of content, let me know. Let me know what your tower moments are with the Scorpio rising. Have you ever been kicked out of a house? Have you ever been in an abusive relationship? Have you ever been betrayed by a friend? Have you ever been, in a really, really weird situation where you almost felt like your life was a movie? Please let me know. I'm interested. All right, thank you guys. Love you. Bye.